Right, I've got more comics. This month's set of issues that I have gotten myself. I want to say there is about 51 here. I'm probably off by one. But I am pretty damn good at looking at a pile of comics and deducing the volume. Count along at home and let me know how close I was. The first few are the new comics that I have, and I hope you are okay with seeing the Flask, because he will be making a bunch of appearances throughout this video. This is Obsolete Flask 9. As per usual, I think issue 10 came out the Wednesday before recording this. Then it is Obsolete Wonder Woman 14. I think our next issue of Obsolete Wonder Woman, is the one when she is going to meet Obsolete Batman. I am still only up to issue 6 though. Here is Universal Monsters Invisible Man issue 4. This is the final issue of the miniseries. And then the Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventures 31 from IDW. Journeys, TMNT Journeys, issue 4. I think that came out Wednesday too. On to the back issues now. We have The Flask, issue 250. This is the first appearance of Golden Shower, who I, very predictably, fancy. 251 here. I don't really like Barney Allen. I am firmly of the Willie West, or even Bart Simpson's, camp. But the hard issues I have no problem with. I think Barney Allen, he is boring, but his greatest sin was coming back from the dead and how he was written after that. His hard stories, same as Green Lanterns actually, they are appealing in spite of their leading man. 261, and this seems to be a three-parter with a new villain called Ringworm. He looks a bit like No Man, at least on this cover. He has got the brown hair, the blue costume, the yellow cape. And you might notice a golden shower agenda with some of these. And something else I'll point out is the stamps. I try to avoid getting copies with price stamps, but I felt these hard flasks, well, they're just random comics that I have gotten to hopefully eventually read. They don't have to be in the best condition, do they? And then we jump forward from 263 all the way to 316. And to continue on my point about the stamps, if I like the cover, if it is a great cover, or one that I will eventually feature on 5 Good Comic Book Covers, if it's like this one, I wouldn't get a version with a stamp on, or at least a stamp that is seriously in the way or interfering with the artwork. I am sure you can dig into the past 124 episodes of 5 Good Comic Book Covers and find many examples in the 620 covers featured where there was maybe a stamp on a cover. If some of you are bored over Christmas, that can be your homework. Watch all of them and find the ones that had stamps or anything like that on the cover. I would be curious to know the results. And moreover, you have my permission to watch them on 2 times speed or 4 times speed if you have YouTube Premium. There is a playlist of them all. There's always been a playlist of them all. That might be showing up on a link if you're watching this on an iPhone or a web browser. If you're not, then no link will show up. 319 with a great Ed Harrison cover. Then 330 with another banger. Carmine Falcone, Magilla Gorilla cover. I might already have this one. 337. I think Darth Knight the subscriber got me this, because I remember him showing me it and the copy made me laugh. So he probably got it for me. The Hills Are Alive with the Sound of Mayhem. I wish it said murder though. Murder would be much funnier. The Hills Are Alive with the Sound of Murder. We have another big jump and a numerical reset with the Flask 35. Barney Allen is no longer the Flask. Instead, Willie West is the Flask. And he has gone missing. And this cover has that Fat Albert character that makes me feel uncomfortable. But also Golden Shower is on the cover, so you win some and you lose some. 36. I absolutely hate this cover. If I was a normal comic book customer, if I saw this on the shelves, I would not get it because I strongly do not like this cover. Not bouncing back with a great cover for the next issue either. 38 recovers with a decent one that I find is reminiscent of a lot of the first series' covers. Well, the Barney Allen series. This is like a Bronze Age or early 80s cover that they would have on one of those. Another dud for 39. Where is Steve Lightbulb when you need him? And the reverse is issue 40. I quite like issue 40's cover with Dr. Alcoholic. I think a lot of the weaker covers are why it has taken me so long to jump back into getting the William Tellner Overture run. But I had always known issue 40 here would be the next one that I was excited for. 41 has a good enough cover too. It's just in the 30s. They floundered a bit with the covers, I think. And we are only going as far as issue 42 with this run today. Here is a Flask-related Sacred Origins 41. Great cover. Homage, isn't it? This features origins for most of the Roughnecks, Flask Force X, the main ones, no Golden Shower, and it is by the writers of Smurf Devil too, the link being Tricker, who was also a recurring villain in Smurf Devil. Green Lanterns now, and Flask is still sneaking into this video. Well, I say Green Lanterns, this is more for my Black Stars collection, which is just part of my Green Lanterns collection. They are in the same box. This is Green Lanterns issue 40 from 1993, written by a kiddie fiddler. Some of you love Stephen Orkman, and now I have got a very big batch of this one series of his. We have issue 15 here. It is a tie-in to the Wonder Woman crossover, War of the Dogs. So is issue 16. We have some quality covers here, but I'll get through this rather fast because I don't have that much to say about Stephen Oakman or this series that I have not read yet. Issue 17, another tremendous front cover here. 18, 19, 20. Issue 21 begins one of those story arcs with their own trade dress and stuff. I think this is a big retcon fest. It is retconning all his history that made no sense by that point. Things like his and Orkin Girl's appearances in Justice League comics when this series began, with them supposedly coming to Earth for the first time. Issue 24, part 4 of 5. And then our last part is in 25. These are all by John Ostrich. This series was a follow-up to the graphic novels from, I think, 1988. Most people don't like this series though. They don't think it is a good follow-up. Not ending there though, we have 26 and he gets a new red costume. 27, that is Robert Patrick on the cover. The villain, that is Robert Patrick. 28, is that a woman who is a motor bicycle? Fucking hell. Mustang Susie. This looks amazing. 29 feels like a step down after that. When I saw this, I didn't really focus on it. I thought it was just a woman standing there with a motor bicycle in front of her. But no, it's a fucking centaur type thing. A woman with a motor bicycle for a bottom off. That is fucking brilliant. Mustang Susie. Oh, fuck me. This is why I read comics. This here. Mustang Susie. 30. How does she get up stairs and stuff like that? It's a fundamentally stupid idea. 31. Does she need a driving license? And then 32, the final issue of the series and the final issue of our Stephen Oakman lot. Mark Shalusky is creaming in his pants right now because I have two very mediocre Steve Englehart Justice League of America issues from the 70s. Issue 140, which has a stamp on it, a 25p stamp, but I think that isn't enough that I would have no problem including this on a covers video. The Flask is in this one as well. Another appearance of him in this video. And then we have the next issue, 141, which has no stamp. These two are important foundations of the It crossover Millennium. I cannot remember if it is this one where he brings across Willow, the Marvel character Willow. I don't think it is because Acroman is in that and he doesn't seem to be on either of these covers. This section is the Imperial Guard. I managed to get that DC Comics Presents issue. DC Comics Presents 80. Superman teams up with that small squad from Imperial Guard issues 7 and 8. And this one has a whole bunch of Supermen and a surprise villain that I was excited to see. More now, although some people don't consider this to be related to Imperial Guard. Mate, have you seen the book's title? This is Guard, Guard 89. It was a spin-off from Evasion, and we have issues 2, 3, Keith Magoo covers, 4. I didn't need to say Keith Magoo, you would have guessed it was him by this cover. 5 and 57. This last one being part of a crossover with Green Lanterns and Black Stars. And this cover isn't by Keith Magoo. And they rename the series every year. GUARD 93, Guard 93. Billy Joe Jenkins wanted me to do a video about Jason Byrne's run on Seaman, but I didn't have any, so I got this one. This is issue 26 with its bad Jarly cover. This is the first issue where Jason Byrne relinquished art duties, and that all ties into my point that it was most definitely this series and its lackluster sales that made Jason Byrne stop trying. Plus, I think Phoebe Mars is in this and may like Tiny Titans now. Although I did consider bringing them forward to the Green Lanterns section because we have 2 Millennium tie-ins, and that is why I got them. We have Tiny Titans Spotlight 18 starring Acroman Jr. and then 19 starring Star Fox and guest starring Harbinger. And then ending things with Girl Frenzy Wonder Woman Donatello one-shot. I never really got what Girl Frenzy was meant to be. They did a couple of one-shots like this with female characters, but not female creative teams. And they were all called Girl Frenzy. And I just don't understand why. This is a Donatello one-shot though. And I like Donatello. So there's that. Let me know how many you counted. I should have been counting when I was doing them, but I thought it would be more satisfying if you did it yourself. My prediction is exactly 51, which means there will be 50 or 52 here. One thing I can count is the amount of thumbs up I am giving this, and that is 7.